Welcome, everyone, to the Wild Hearted Revolution podcast. It has been a while since I have been on here, and I'm really excited to be back with you. So much has shifted for Wild Hearted Revolution, and I cannot wait to share everything with you. This episode is a little bit different, and this will kind of be telling you where I've been, what's been happening, and where Wild Hearted Revolution is going. Um, a few years ago, I started yoni steaming, which is vaginal steaming, pelvic steaming, and it is an ancient practice that has been around for thousands of years. However, when man and modern medicine came into being, they deemed it witchcraft or woo woo or whatever. But anyway, I started yoni steaming a few years ago and it has absolutely changed my life. And what happened through the sacred practice was that I started connecting with my womb space. And many of us women are incredibly disconnected from this space. We have been programmed by society, by the patriarchy, to deem this place something dirty or something that's only made for a man's pleasure, something that we shouldn't talk about, it's secret, whatever you want to name it. And through this practice of steaming, I began to reconnect with this space, with my womb space. And when you begin reconnecting, when you begin this womb awakening, so many things happen, right? Because the womb is the center of creation. Not one person hasn't been touched by a womb. Everybody that is here on this planet has been birthed from a womb. And our womb is not only does it birth physically, but it also births spiritually, right? We create from this space, yet we have been told that we shouldn't connect with it, that, it's only made for certain things. And it's such a bold lie that we have believed for so long. And so as I really started to integrate this practice into my weekly self care routine, I found that my periods were better. I no longer had PMS. I no longer had really negative period symptoms. I've always had very painful periods. I've actually hated my period and didn't want anything to do with it and would just groan knowing that it was coming. I had really terrible PMS and it would last for I want to say almost 2 weeks before my period started. So I would become incredibly sensitive to sound. I would be incredibly moody, ask my husband, ask my friends. I was just so up and down. I was super emotional. And so through steaming, through the sacred practice, my emotions leveled out. My periods became healthier. They became 4 days with fresh red blood. And what else was happening was that my perimenopause symptoms were lessening. So I no longer had hot flashes, which, if you're in perimenopause or you're a woman who has hot flashes, you know how those are just kind of, oh, they're a lot. So all of this to say is this journey of steaming really started me on a sacred womb awakening journey for myself. And through that, I have realized how many women are disconnected from this space. And what has been happening lately is I have really poured my heart and soul into a 6 week post abortion healing journey for post abortive women. So the statistic used to be, don't quote me on this, I do not know if it is still true, but back in 2009, 2010, the statistic was 1 in 3 women have had an abortion. And it may have changed. It may now be 1 in 4 women, but whatever that number is, it is a vast number of women who the majority of us, I am a post-abortive woman. I had my abortion. It was the day after my 17th birthday back in 1990. And that decision absolutely changed my life. It changed who I was. It changed how I was showing up in the world. It changed my belief about so many things. And so I immediately went into shame and secrecy because I wanted this choice. I didn't believe I deserved to grieve. I didn't believe I deserved healing. And I pushed all of that down and I suffered silently for 17 years before I realized that I needed healing from this womb wound. And I say I suffered silently, but to any keen eye observer, if they were looking at me after that choice, the behaviors that I was displaying would have or should have shown somebody that I was struggling with something. Something was very wrong, and it was a womb trauma. It was an emotional trauma, and I did not know how to reach out for help. I didn't know help was available. So, this is where Wild Hearted Revolution has kind of been shifting to. There is a lot of womb healing coming to me. It is being downloaded, and I'm very, very serious about this work. So I'm starting with post abortion healing because this is what I know. This is the healing that I have been through. Now, when I went through healing, it was through a Christian based program. It was when I was in the church. It was when I became a leader in the church, and this could be a whole nother podcast. I'm no longer with the church. I left the church in 2012. And what I realized was there are women out there who do not want a healing journey that has any sort of religious or Christian foundation. And so I've written Sacred Souls as a 6 week healing journey, and it is in a women's circle format. So, what does that mean? We show up on Zoom together, we have ritual together, we have group share together, we have movement and meditation together, we do exercises such as journaling and guided visualization, and, like I said, beautiful ritual to memorialize the soul, to connect with the soul, to find forgiveness for ourselves. And I am just so passionate about this because I know the pain of that choice. I know that many women struggle. I just had a TikTok video go viral on TikTok, and as of today, it's at like 230,000 views. There are over 5,000 comments, and the women that are sharing their stories, that are, saying, "Thank you for this video. Thank you for bringing this to light," just shows me how many women out there need healing and they don't know where to go. So I am just creating spaces for women to show up. There is a private Facebook group for post abortive women. If you are one, I encourage you to join. I am not broadcasting this group. Like, there's not a way that you can find it. It's a private group, so you have to get the link from me and the invitation to join. So if you would email me or find me on any of my social media platforms saying that you want to join, I will give you the link. This is going to be a sacred container where post abortive women can show up and know that they are seen, heard, and loved. They can share their story. They can know that they will not be judged or criticized. If there are any people who are going to judge or criticize or have any negativity, they will immediately be removed from the group. I just want to make that clear. So, I also have a post abortion healing guide that is available on my website. If you are not ready to be in any sort of group container, I completely understand, but that guide can begin to help you on your healing journey. I also have my 6 week healing program called Sacred Souls. And there will be 2 cohorts of that starting in June. There are only room for 8 women in each cohort. So if that is something that you think might feel aligned for you at that moment, you can go to my website and check that out. I'm also hosting a women's circle on May, gosh, I think it's the 31st. Let me check for you. On May 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That again, will have limited spaces available, but if that's something that you want to do, go check that out on my website. And so with this topic. This is a heavy topic. It's a heated topic, and I'm not here to be in any sort of division. Everybody is entitled to their own beliefs and opinions. And so I am not going to engage in any sort of negativity. What I'm doing is creating a safe and sacred space for post abortive women to show up because I know the emotional, the mental, the spiritual depths of hurt and shame and grief that women that have had an abortion or possibly multiple abortions have experienced. When I was in the church and I led facilitated post abortion healing groups, just the stories that I heard and the women that came through that door and went through that journey, my heart was just so, I want to say happy because they stepped in for healing. And I, of course, went on that journey myself and it transformed me. I was able to forgive. I was able to release. I was able to get out anger in a really healthy way. And then I was able to really connect with myself, with other women who have had that same experience. And so I'm just so passionate about post abortive women stepping into this really sacred container, knowing that they are held, knowing that I'm going to be with them every step of the way. And so are their sacred sisters who have experienced something, along the same lines as them. So this is where Wild Hearted Revolution is going. We're really stepping into womb healing. Right now, my focus is post abortion healing, but I am in a practitioner training for womb healing, and it is a year training. And so there's just so much to come because we hold trauma in our wombs, right? Whether it's physical or emotional, there's so much trauma stored in our wombs. And because of that, we are not showing up fully. We are not tapping into the power of our womb because the trauma and the hurts that are there are blocking us from doing so. So there is just so much work to do for us women. And I'm really excited about it because I know the power that's there. And when we can really heal this space and tap into its power, ooh, we are going to change the world. So I'm just super excited to share this with you. I am going to keep this podcast up. We are going to dive deep every week. It's not always going to be about post abortion. I'm going to have guests on, and it's really about embodying the feminine because the patriarchy has so kept us down for so long. And I was talking with a girlfriend today, and people are saying like it's a great awakening, but we believe it is a great remembering. We are remembering who we are. We are remembering our power. We are remembering the beauty of the feminine. We are tapping into that and not allowing the masculine to take over. So we all have masculine and feminine energy, and it's about balance. It's not about operating out of one or the other. It's about having a beautiful balance of the two. And many of us work from masculine energy. We're go, 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 do, 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 don't ask for help. I've got it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine our way through life. When inside we're like, I am hurting. I need help. I can't do this. But if I ask for help, people will think I'm weak. And so it's this balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So Just wanted to update you. I'm so excited to bring all of the Wild Hearted womb work to you. And again, if you're post abortive and you want to join that private group, please reach out to me. And then all of the other groups as well, if you're ready to dive deeper, are on my website, and that is wildheartedrevolution.com. So I will see you all over the place. You can find me on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I have a YouTube channel, and of course, here. And as always, stay wild.